The fight is done. We lost. Stay hidden.
The key to hunting Jedi is patience. Jedi cannot help what they are. Their compassion leaves a trail. The Jedi Code is like an itch.
Hello there, everyone. This is going to be my Star Wars Obi-Wan Kenobi trailer video. They finally dropped footage, so we'll break it all down. There's a whole bunch of Easter eggs here. Obviously, Darth Vader in the background, Duel of the Fates. They are doing all the things, and it looks like it's going to be amazing. If you're new to the channel, I will be doing episode videos just like I do for all the other Star Wars Disney Plus series. Be sure to subscribe to get them all. I'll start at the beginning of the footage and we'll just work our way through scene by scene talking about Easter eggs, WTF moments, and I will explain what's going on during the actual series. We know a little bit about what's going on in the plot. But the big thing here is they obviously spin up into like an alternate version of Duel of the Fates. This is meant to pick up about 10 years after the end of Revenge of the Sith and Order 66. Some of the series will revisit moments from Order 66, I think, maybe some flashbacks. Because part of the idea in bringing Hayden Christensen back as Darth Vader is that just like during Rogue One, you'll see him without the helmet on, so you'll recognize that it is Hayden Christensen under the makeup. But I believe they also might be doing some flashbacks, or Obi-Wan Kenobi might be having nightmares and flashbacks to Order 66, where we'll see Hayden Christensen as Anakin Skywalker before he lost the high ground. Other big thing, I was surprised to see that they actually brought a young version of Luke Skywalker onto this. Now, we did see Luke Skywalker during The Mandalorian, during the Book of Boba Fett, so there is a lot of Skywalker happening in the Star Wars Disney Plus series all across the timeline. But like I said, because it's 10 years after Revenge of the Sith, Luke Skywalker is only about 10 years old, pretending to bullseye Womp Rats in a fake T-16 here, sitting on top of Owen and Beru Lar's hut. The way Ewan McGregor talks about Obi-Wan Kenobi at the beginning of the series here is that 10 years into his mission to lay low and just watch over Luke Skywalker, he's about giving up on life, like he's just completely dejected. I believe it's what's going on with the Inquisitorius, the Grand Inquisitor, and the Inquisitors going around the Jedi Hunters and Darth Vader that eventually inspires him to leave the planet, like his big call to action. There are rumors that it's going to involve a Princess Leia plot. Like they're doing young Luke Skywalker 10 years old, there'll also be a 10-year-old Princess Leia that will show up during the series at some point in a cameo scene. So it's not like they're just doing young Luke and not doing young Leia. But I believe the reason why he leaves Tatooine has something to do with that and the Inquisitors. Because later in the trailer, you do see Obi-Wan Kenobi fighting the Inquisitors on this other planet. I'll explain where that is in a second. But the actual opening scene of the trailer is him riding across the sands of Tatooine on the Eopie animal here. Now, because his hut was built over here on the other side of the Jundland Waste from Owen and Beru Lar's moisture farm, I'm assuming that he's either headed to Mos Espa or they've changed it because, like, you see him right here, perched up across the moisture farm watching Luke Skywalker. If this cave that he's living in here is way closer to their moisture farm, the town that he's going to might actually be Mos Eisley. Mos Eisley and Anchorhead are just much closer to the moisture farm than Mos Espa. Mos Espa is like on the other side of Tatooine, closer to where his hut was during the events of A New Hope. But it looks like at this point in the timeline, he hasn't fully built his hut yet. We spent a lot of time in Mos Eisley and in Mos Espa during The Mandalorian Season 1, Season 2, and then during the Book of Boba Fett episodes, but you have to remember that the events of those episodes are taking place like 18, 19 years after what's happening here during the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, just charting the timeline. This is 10 years after Revenge of the Sith, but The Mandalorian and the Book of Boba Fett pick up 5 years after Return of the Jedi. They did bring Joel Edgerton back as Owen Large. He said that he was surprised that they called him, like, thank you for casting me, George Lucas, and thank you for bringing me back this many years later. And it's also the same actress who played Beru Large during Revenge of the Sith, so they brought back everybody they could. Then we meet the Inquisitors. The fortress here that they fly to is literally called the Fortress Inquisitorius. It's where they train all the Inquisitors. It's on one of the moons of Mustafar called Nur, and part of it is submerged underwater here. Like you can see when they're meeting in this room here, they are submerged underwater. Darth Vader's castle, built on Mustafar. Darth Vader's castle was actually built to sort of take advantage of the dark side ley lines in the Force. Like those giant spike structures aren't just for show, those are actually tuning forks for the dark side. So while he's busy stewing in his castle here, just getting really pissed off, getting ready to go around hunt Jedi around the galaxy, the Inquisitors are busy training their forces over in this castle on the moon nearby. We meet a couple of the main character Inquisitors. There's a lot of them, but only a couple of them will be main characters. This one is called Reva. We don't know a lot about her backstory or how she became an Inquisitor, but this is the first time she's shown up in the canon. The characters that you will recognize are the Grand Inquisitor from Star Wars Rebels. He's not being played by Jason Isaacs though. This is actually Rupert Friend underneath the makeup, but he's got that same weird double-bladed lightsaber that he had from Star Wars Rebels. This character kind of looks like the fifth brother, also from Star Wars Rebels. This is the first time that we've seen the Inquisitors in live action though, but the whole idea is that we knew that Darth Vader went around hunting the Jedi that escaped Order 66 right after the events of Revenge of the Sith, but it wasn't until Star Wars Rebels that they introduced the idea of the Inquisitors to the canon, like Dave Filoni created the Inquisitors themselves. So they're a relatively new addition to the Star Wars canon. The whole idea with the Inquisitors is that they're either former Jedi who were turned by the Emperor, turned to the dark side by choice, or they were children who were Force sensitive that the Emperor stole from their families and then twisted to the dark side and raised as Inquisitors. They did a little bit of that plot during the Clone Wars episodes. The special name that he had for that program, the Inquisitor program, was Project Harvester. I believe the Grand Inquisitor used to be one of the Jedi Temple Guardians at the Jedi Temple on Coruscant before Order 66, before the Emperor turned the old Jedi Temple into his Imperial Palace. You also learn a little bit more about the Inquisitors during the Jedi Fallen Order storyline of that game. Darth Vader had a weird relationship with the Inquisitorius. The whole idea with Darth Vader is that he actually went around killing every Jedi that he could find, every Force sensitive he could find, not because he hated the idea of Force sensitives. It was mostly because he didn't want the Emperor training another replacement and then getting rid of him, because that's exactly what he did with Darth Maul. They were always plotting against each other. The Emperor always knew that Darth Vader would eventually betray him, and Darth Vader never trusted the Emperor and was always searching for a way to get rid of him. Keep your friends close, but your enemies closer. When the Grand Inquisitor is talking about the key to hunting Jedi is about following this trail of compassion, basically he's talking about hurting people so that the Jedi will come save these people and then out themselves in the process. It seems like Owen Large runs afoul of the Inquisitor. Something bad happens in town while they're on Tatooine. The whole idea is that they're not looking for Luke Skywalker on Tatooine. The Inquisitors don't know about him, but they do know that Obi-Wan Kenobi survived the Purge, so they're actually on Tatooine probably because they're looking for Obi-Wan Kenobi. This also helps provide more context for why, during the events of A New Hope, Owen Large is so against telling Luke Skywalker the truth about his father, Anakin Skywalker, and telling him the truth about Obi-Wan Kenobi. He'll witness all these terrible things that the Inquisitors do on Tatooine to all the regular people. This is the Inquisitor Reva on that new planet that I was talking about. So this is a brand new planet they introduced during the series. It's called Daiyu. They said it's a little bit like Space Hong Kong. All these neon signs are written in the standard Star Wars common language of Arabesh. This is Indira Varma. You might remember her as one of the Sand Snakes from Game of Thrones. She's just playing a normal Imperial officer. Based on what we know about the plot, I'm assuming that Obi-Wan Kenobi starts on Tatooine and then comes to this other planet because of the mission that he's on, whoever it is that he's trying to save. That's the whole point of the Grand Inquisitor's speech about the Jedi not being able to help themselves, this very strict code that they follow. He gets into a big blaster fight on the rooftops here with the other Inquisitors. You have to picture him saying, "Blaster's so uncivilized." Reva pulls out her Sith lightsaber. The whole idea with lightsabers is that there are no red lightsaber crystals. Like when you become a Sith, you don't just go find a red lightsaber crystal. You have to turn a regular lightsaber crystal to the dark side. So you take a white, a yellow, a blue lightsaber crystal, you twist it to the dark side, and it turns red. The symbol that one of the Jedi Hunters is touching is the symbol of the Jedi Order. Even though we only hear Darth Vader's breathing sounds over the trailer, there is supposed to be a couple of big rematches between Obi-Wan Kenobi and Darth Vader, even though canonically there's a lot of questions about that. But based on the concept art, they actually do have a rematch during this series, and they're just taking a different interpretation of their phrasing when they talked about their rematch during A New Hope. It would be weird to bring them both back in a series and then not let them have a bunch of scenes together. They're probably holding back on actual Darth Vader in the trailers until like the next big trailer. That'll also give us much more of the actual story. This is just meant to give you a vibe for what the series is going to feel like, the music, and big reminder too, if you didn't realize, John Williams actually kind of came out of Star Wars retirement, so to speak, to do a new theme song for the Obi-Wan series. So I am expecting him to bake some Duel of the Fates into that new Obi-Wan theme song. Then big reminder, the episodes are going to start on May 25th. That's going to be around the time Star Wars Celebration is happening, so they will probably have a really big Obi-Wan Kenobi panel at Star Wars Celebration this year. I believe they're supposed to be between 4 and 6 episodes. They haven't been really clear on that. It was originally going to be 6, but then they said it was going to be 4. Now if you visit the wiki, it says 6 episodes, so we'll see. But everyone, post all your reactions in the comments below, post all your Obi-Wan Kenobi memes, let me know what do you think of the series so far. But if you have any big questions about what's happening during the series, what's going on with the canon in this part of the timeline, and how this is going to connect with any of the other series, remember, it's 10 years after Revenge of the Sith, so it's mostly going to be riffing on Revenge of the Sith stuff. I will do more trailer videos when we get more footage. Everyone click here for my Mandalorian Season 3 teaser trailer video, and click here for that brand new Marvel Shang-Chi Deadpool deleted scene. Thank you so much for watching, everyone stay safe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.